stuff today on the flow, and as per usual as well, just put it together literally 10 minutes ago. So I'm learning as you guys are learning. We'll get through it together, and by the end of the probably 30 to 35 minutes of actual work, we'll be flowing through the whole thing nice and smooth after we've learned it for the first half. So let's get started with a little bit of a warm-up here, guys. We do have some overhead work. Typically with our kettlebell work, we get overhead a fair amount, so we will warm up the shoulders as well as our hips. Let's start with the arms straight up overhead. We're going to drop down into a squat position, whatever depth you're comfortable with. Try to keep the chest up, knees out, heels flat. If you're up here, that's fine. Whatever you can work on. Pull your left elbow inside your knee, and you're going to use that elbow to push your spine up into a nice thoracic rotation, reaching up to the ceiling. Lift the left arm right back up into the air, always trying to get the elbows nice and straight. Draw the right elbow into the knee and push into the rotation. You might feel a couple little releases going down the lumbar spine, which always feels wonderful. Bring the arms down to the floor. Just a standard downward dog position here. Walking the heels down, tucking the ears between the biceps. Walk back to your squat position. We're going to take our right hand, reach back behind us on the floor, drive the hips up, keep the knees out wide. We're extending the spine. And then we're coming back down, push forward, back to your squat position. Left hand's going back and drive it up. Let's go back to the first side. We're doing 3 per side on these. Taking your time. Don't go beyond a range of motion that you're comfortable with. Back to the left side. And one more. Let's go back to the left. Very good. From here, we're just going to sit down. Drop both legs over to the left side. Find your 90-90 position at the hips and the knees. We're going to drop our chest towards the left shin. If you're watching this on Instagram right now and the audio is not very good, you're sitting actually right on top of the speaker, so hopefully you can hear it and it's not too loud. You can always jump over to our YouTube page where the audio will be much clearer. Tuck your left elbow into your left hip, roll to your back. We're rolling over to the right side. So now we're still in that 90-90 position at the legs, and drive the chest over top of the shin. We're just opening up the hips here. This will pretty much be it for the warm-up. Tuck the right elbow into the left hip, roll back to the first side, and glide. Get a little bit deeper this time if you can. And tuck the left elbow. Last roll to the right side. All right, my friends, that's it. We still have a lot of learning to do, so we'll be warming up as we go through our flow patterns. Okay, grab yourself a kettlebell. Please keep it light to begin, because we have probably some different movements that we haven't done before, or at least in this pattern. Once you're comfortable with what we're doing, then you can start to increase your weight load further into the workout. I normally have a timer going for the rounds. We're not going to go with the timer today. We're just going to go kind of based on feel and how things are progressing. We'll take breaks periodically. We're going to break our flow up into 3 sections. So we're going to learn the first, third, first, and then we're going to learn the second, third added together, and then the third, that makes sense, and then add it all together, and then we'll just flow from top to bottom. We have a unilateral flow today, so we're going to go through 12 movements on the right side of the body, and then we'll go through the same 12 on the left side of the body. So it's just split in half. Single kettlebell only. You do not need 2 kettlebells today. Ready to get going? All right, let's get started. So we're going to start with an inverted grip on the kettlebell. Thumbs are facing forward, or an overhand grip on the kettlebell. We're going to start in a squat and do an anyhow movement. So we're going to do a bicep curl to begin. Stand up, press overhead, drop the kettlebell back behind, so a tricep press. And then from here, we're going to kick it back up, switch the kettlebell to one hand, go into a single hand swing. And then from the swing, we're going into a switch side swing. So one swing, And then we're gonna catch into the left hand, turn, and do a side swing on the other side. So let's just start with that again. Inverted grip, squat, bicep curl, stand up, press overhead, tricep press back, transfer to one hand, swing, switch into a side swing. So I'm just turning my whole body. I've switched the kettlebell from my right hand to my left hand in that side swing. From there, we're gonna continue rotating in that full circle. We're gonna switch back to the right hand and go into a side snatch. So from that, let's just go through the whole thing again. So curl, stand, press, tricep. I'm gonna try to do this slow. Single arm swing, switch, rotate to side swing, switch, and then we're catching in a side snatch. So I had swung it with my left hand. When I'm facing backwards, I'm switching back to my right hand, and I'm pulling up into an overhead snatch facing forward. Let's go from the top. Sounds like a dance choreography. Okay, squat, bicep curl, stand, press, single arm swing, switch, rotate, switch back, and finish with the snatch. So it's kind of a reverse snatch because I'm pulling the kettlebell backwards as I turn and pull it up overhead. So again, not a traditional snatch movement pattern, which is why I'm encouraging you to start with light weights. All right, so that's the first section, or the first third of the whole flow. We're just gonna practice that for a little bit. Let's do it one more time on the right, we'll do it a couple times on the left, and we'll go from there. So inverted grip, squat, curl, stand, press, single arm swing, switch, rotate, keep rotating, switch back to the right, and overhead snatch. Don't worry if it's taking you a few tries to get there, but once you get it, that feels really nice to go through. Let's go into the left side. So anyhow, which is curl and press, tricep. Now we're gonna switch to the left hand. Swing, switch back to the right, keep the rotation going. I almost rotated back the way I came, so there's a little bit of a stutter in there. Let's go through it again. Curl, stand, press, tricep work, left hand swing, switch and rotate, finish in the snatch overhead. All right, let's do one more on the right, one more on the left, and then we'll add on. Curl, stand, press, swing, switch, and overhead snatch. If you're wondering what to do with your feet, I'm not too worried about saying, step 45 degrees with the left foot, take a 3-inch step over to the right. Just move your feet nice and fluidly so that you're always in a stable position on the floor. Okay, one more time on the left. So curl, stand, press, tricep, single arm swing on the left, switch and rotate, and finish with the snatch. All right, we got the first third complete. Let's add the next section, which is going to be an overhead squat, halo, and a Turkish get-up or variation, depending on your mobility. So we finished, let's go back to the right hand, we finished in this snatch position. From here, we're gonna drop into an overhead squat. So I'm dropping down, keeping the kettlebell overhead. From here, I'm gonna pull my arm back into rack position and switch, well not switch, but grab the kettlebell with both hands, and we're gonna go into a halo. So going around the head, pulling it back to the chest. Once I'm here, I'm gonna transition back into the rack position on the right side, and I'm going to do one of two things. If I'm low in this squat, I'm gonna press up with the right hand, kick out with the left, and put my left arm on the floor. So I'm almost in a midpoint of a Turkish get-up from here. Okay, and then we're just going to, well, I'll go through the whole thing first from this position. So from here, we're just gonna lower down into our sit-up, come back up, and then we're carrying on from there. Now the variation to that is if you are not overhead squatting to this position, maybe you can only go this low in your squat, That's perfectly fine. Now you're gonna actually do a full Turkish get-up. So left knee goes back, bring the left hand to the floor, kick out, and now you're pretty much where you would be if you were in that low squat position to begin. Finish your Turkish get-up, sit up, get the knee under, and then you're right back to where we'll be. So I recognize that there's a little bit of a sort of pre-understanding that maybe you know what a Turkish get-up is, or you can go through a Turkish get-up. A lot of these movements are a little bit more advanced, so if you're brand new to kettlebell work, this might not be the best video for you to start with. That's why I'm kind of going through some of these things a little bit quicker and not breaking down a lot of like how to hold the kettlebell and that sort of thing. But we have some videos that are more basic if you want to follow along with those. We also have a 4-week kettlebell flow workshop starting up the beginning of June, which definitely check that out. It'll be a couple times a week, and we'll start with the basics and then build so that we're doing lots of flows like you're seeing here today. All right, anyways, enough of the advertising pitch. Let's get back to the flow. So we're starting right from the top again. Let's go back to the right side. Bicep curl, stand, press, tricep work, single arm swing, switch, and switch back. We're up in the snatch now. We're going down to overhead squat. From here, pull the kettlebell into the rack. Halo, starting around the left ear, replace it in the rack, and then either Turkish get up or pull into your Turkish get up from the low squat. We're lowering down into the sit up, come back up, finishing in the low squat or finishing in the top of the Turkish get up, depending on your mobility. From there, we're just going to be actually standing up with the kettlebell anyways. Okay, let's go to the left side. So curl, stand, press, tricep work. We're single arm swinging on the left hand side. Switch, swing, switch, snatch, overhead squat from here. Rack it up. Halo around the right ear. Rack it up. Press into the Turkish get up. Sit up. Come back up to the low squat. Stand up. One more time on each side. Squat, curl, stand, press, tricep work. Single arm swing, switch, switch, overhead squat. Halo. Press into the Turkish get up, back up, and stand. Awesome. Left side. Anyhow, you can already start to feel heart rate coming up as we're stringing all this together. Left side swing, switch, rotate, snatch overhead, overhead squat. Bring it in, right side halo. Press into Turkish get up. Come on up. And stand. Beautiful. Okay, grab a quick break, grab some water if you need. We're gonna add our last 4 movements to the flow, and then we'll string it all together. Lots of waving going on. I have no idea how Instagram works, so I'm assuming a bunch of waving is the easy way to say, hi, I'm here. Well, I'm glad you're here and joining us, guys. Okay, let's talk about the last 4 movements. So we would have finished with that Turkish get up, kettlebell is up overhead, yes? From here, let me just make sure I know what I'm doing. We're gonna go into a pivot side snatch and then baseball. So right arm is up. I'm gonna drop the kettlebell out to my right side. From here, I'm gonna use the momentum to pull me into a pivot step. So I will talk about the feet now. All I'm doing is I'm taking my right leg, stepping over to the right, so now I'm facing backwards. And the kettlebell is just doing a swoop and going back up into that overhead snatch position. So from here, a pivot side snatch, and then we're gonna bring the kettlebell down to the shoulder. You may have to turn around and face see me what you're doing, or see what I'm doing here. From the shoulder, I'm going to take the kettlebell and just throw it like a baseball, pretty much is the plan. Please don't throw your kettlebell. I'm not responsible for any broken TVs or mirrors or loved ones. We're just pitching it, and then it's going to come back into that swing. From there, we're going to do a switch pivot clean. So let's just put it all together. All the words are confusing even to me. So from here, we're going to go into a pivot side snatch. Drop it to the shoulder. We're going to do a baseball pitch, switch, and clean. Okay, let's go from that baseball again. So I'm going to baseball pitch out, catch it or switch it with my left hand. Now I'm facing forward again, and I've caught it onto my left shoulder in a rack position. Last thing I need to do is grab it with both hands, halo around the right ear, and now I'm all set up to drop back down and go into the next side. Okay, let's go on the right side. We're going to do those last three one more time. I know those are a little confusing. So right arm is up. We're going into a pivot side snatch. Rack it to the right shoulder. Baseball pitch, switch to the left hand, clean, square up, halo around the right ear, and now we're back to the start. Okay, let's try that on the left side. Just those last three movements. Left arm up. So we're going to drop the kettlebell out to the left for the pivot side snatch. Bring it to the left shoulder. Baseball pitch. Switch with the right hand to clean. And then halo around the left. Okay, are we ready to put it all together? Nice and slow. Let's go to the right side. Okay, overhand grip. Squat. Bicep curl. Stand. Press. Tricep. Right hand is going to swing, switch, switch again, finish in that snatch position. Overhead squat. Rack on the right shoulder. Left side halo. Press it up. Kick. Go into your sit-up. Back to the low squat or the Turkish get-up. Stand up. Now the new stuff. Pivot side snatch. Rack on the right shoulder. Baseball pitch. Switch. Clean. Halo around the right ear. And now we're off to the left side. Squat. Curl. Stand. Press. Tricep work. Left side swing. Switch to the other side. Switch into a snatch. Overhead squat. Rack it up. Halo around the right side. Press and sit. Sit up. Back to the Turkish get up or overhead low squat. Overhead press. The new stuff is here. So we're going into our pivot. Side snatch. Bring it to the shoulder. Baseball pitch. Switch. Clean. Halo around the left. And that's our whole flow. All right. Take a break. When we take a break, that's when our brain can really start to digest what we just learned, and it'll be a little bit easier to go back to it. All right, I am going to set the timer up. I said we'd go without a timer today, but I'm not liking the just sort of open-ended time. So grab a quick drink of water. We're going to do 2 5-minute rounds. And we'll see how many reps we can get. Let's do 1 minute break. All right. So our first 5 minutes, we're going to keep going nice and slow because we're all learning this together. And then the second round, we're going to try and just speed it up and just keep moving. And that's when we'll challenge how many rounds we can actually get in. All right, let's get ready to go. I'm gonna upgrade a little bit heavier here. See how that goes. Okay, here we go. I'll probably make a few, every time we do these, I make one or two mistakes throughout the class. I skip something, or I turn the wrong way, or I do a clean instead of a snatch or something, because again, these are new movements for me too. So let's get ready to go, guys. Overhand grip or inverted grip on the kettlebell. Get into your squat. Here we go. Bicep curl. Stand. Press. Tricep work. Right side single arm swing. Switch and turn. Switch. Overhead snatch. Now overhead squat. Bring the kettlebell down. Halo around the left. Back to the rack. Press left hand down. Lower yourself down into a sit-up. Come back to your low squat. Stand. Outside. Pivot. Side snatch. Rack it up. Baseball pitch. Switch. Clean. Halo around the right ear. Awesome. Let's go to the left side. Squat it down. Curl. Stand. Press. Tricep work. Left side swing. Switch. Turn. Switch. Finish overhead. Squat. Bring it down. Halo to the right. Press and sit. Into the sit-up. Come back to your low squat. Stand. Outside. Pivot. Side snatch. Oh, I had a blank here. What are we doing? Baseball pitch. Switch and clean. Halo around the left ear. All right, let's go back to the first side. I didn't even start the timer, did I? Okay, that was our practice round. Here we go. 5 minutes. 5 minutes starting now. Squat, curl, stand, press. Tricep work, right side swing, switch, all the way around, overhead, squat. Bring it to the shoulder, halo around the left side. I took out my microphone there. All right, Turkish get up. Stand, pivot, side snatch. Baseball pitch, turn, clean, halo. Left side, squat, curl. Stand, press, tricep work, single arm swing on the left. Switch, full rotation, switch, finish in the snatch. Overhead squat, rack it up. Halo. I almost missed the halo there. Turkish get up. And stand. Pivot. Snatch. Baseball. Switch. Clean. Left side halo. Woo. Keep it going. We're back to the start. Curl. Stand. Press overhead. Tricep. Right side swing. Switch to the left. Switch back to the right. Finish overhead. Halo left. Press and lower. Back up. Hips up. Stand. Right side. Pivot. Snatch. Baseball pitch. Switch to clean. Right side halo. And we're on to the left side. Squat. Curl. Stand. Hope you guys are following along here. Left side swing. Switch. Rotate. I did 120 switches there. Ooh, I got lost. That's all right. Oh no, we're on left side. We're good. Overhead, squat, rack, right side halo, Turkish get up, and up, and stand, I got a little confused there. I think we're good. Left side pivot, baseball. Switch, clean, left side halo. All right, that was a rough one. We're back on the right side. Here we go, anyhows. Right side swing, rotate, switch, switch, overhead squat, left side halo, Turkish. Stand, pivot, side snatch, baseball throw, switch, clean, and right side halo. All right, left side, hopefully I get it this time. Squat, curl, stand, press, left side swing. Switch, full rotation, finishing that overhead. Position, squat, right side halo. Turkish get up. And pivot, side snatch, baseball, switch, clean, left side halo. All right, squat. We're just gonna do anyhows till the end of the round here, guys. We don't have time for the full thing. So squat, curl, press, tricep work. 10 seconds. Three, 2, 1, and time. Whew. All right, we got through 5 minutes. I guess that's probably closer to 6.5 because I didn't have the timer going. Get some water. So that was actually pretty fast speed throughout. The next round will probably be about the same, maybe a little bit faster if I don't forget what I'm doing. But I'll probably be cutting down on my cueing a little bit, more so because I'm going to be out of breath. So I just won't be able to cue as much. But hopefully you guys are catching that flow pretty well, and we don't need as much cueing as we go. We're starting up here in about 15 seconds. Hey Kyle, how's it going? Okay guys, let's get going. Change your weight if you feel you need to. I'm pretty happy here with this 12. I'm gonna stay there. All right, let's get started. So anyhow, curl, stand, press, tricep work, right side swing, full rotation with switches, finishing up overhead, squat, halo to the left, Turkish, stand, pivot, snatch, baseball, switch, clean, halo right, over the other side, squat, single arm swing left, full rotation with switches, finish overhead, squat, halo right, Turkish, stand, pivot snatch, baseball, switch to clean, halo left, right side, anyhow, right side swing, squat, halo left, Turkish, that was a lazy halo, pivot, baseball, switch, right side halo. All right, left side, curl, stand, press, Left side swing, full rotation, finish, snatch, squat, right side halo, Turkish, pivot, baseball, switch, and left side halo. All right, back to the right. Full rotation, squat, left side halo. I think we can get through 2 more full cycles here, just in time. I think so. Baseball, switch to clean, right side halo. I don't know if my shoulders will last though. Anyhow, left side coming up. Single arm swing. Full rotations. Hopefully no one's throwing a kettlebell yet. Squat. Right side halo. Turkish. Pivot. Baseball. Clean. Left side halo. One more time on each side. Swing, full rotation. Get it up there. Squat. Halo. I'm paranoid of taking out my mic again. Back up. Stand. Pivot snatch. Baseball. Switch. Right side halo. Left side, last time. Can we do it in 45 seconds? I think so. Full rotation. Squat. Right side halo. Turkish. Turkish up. Pivot snatch. Baseball. Switch. Left side halo. And anyhows until we're out of time. Which is 5 seconds. All right. Whew. That's it, guys. So that is our full flow. Hopefully you enjoyed working along with me. And if you don't have a kettlebell or you weren't in a position to follow along, hopefully you enjoyed the video. We will do a couple stretches for our shoulders right away here in about 2 seconds. Again, just heads up that we're doing these kettlebell flow workouts once a week. And starting in June, we do have that workshop, which will be a lot more breaking things down instructively. We'll be on Google Meet, so I can see what you're doing. You can see what I'm doing. You can get feedback that way. And then once our gyms are opened up, then we can carry that on in person. All right, guys, let's do a couple stretches here. Let's get our timer off. All right, take the left hand, reach it up, bend the elbow as much as you can, grab the left elbow with the right hand, pull it across, just to stretch out the triceps in the left arm. And that was our first time filming on Instagram at the same time, so hopefully that went well. Hopefully I can figure out if anyone was actually watching afterwards. Still kind of learning the whole social media thing. All right, release that side. Let's get the right arm up, bend the right elbow as much as you can, grab the elbow, pull it across. We'll stretch the pecs and the forearms after this. We typically always do the pec stretch where we're lying on or we're on the wall, so I'm going to do something a little bit different this time around. All right, release the arm. If you have a dowel or a broomstick handle nearby, or a tie, a belt, a pair of pants, anything really that you can hold on to that's wider than shoulder width apart, then you can do a bilateral pec stretch on your own. So what we're going to do is we're going to just grab the object, we're going to pull our arms back, and we're going to think of pushing our chest forward or out as we're pushing the object as far back behind us as possible. Try to stay relaxed at the neck. And if you feel like you can't get your arms very far, you might be too narrow on your object. Just grab wider. That will allow you to get the arms further back. Nice full breaths. You can also play with your angles on this. You can have one arm a bit higher than the other, which is nice. It's really easy to dynamically change your stretch when you're doing it this way, as opposed to being stuck up on a wall. It's a little bit trickier to play around with targeting different muscle fibers throughout the stretch. All right, my friends, let's release there. And our last stretch, anytime we do lots of kettlebell work, whether it's heavy or just high volume, I recommend stretching out the forearm flexors because that's a lot of grip work, especially with momentum. That 12 kilogram kettlebell feels more like a 20, 30 kilogram kettlebell. So let's get down to a kneeling position, palms on the floor, fingers facing the knees. Get the palms flat down. And we can increase the stretch one of two ways. You can either bend the elbows, so pulling the elbows towards the thighs as you stay over top of the hands. That's one option. Another option is keeping the elbows straight and then sitting your hips back towards your heels. And that will also give you a slightly different stretch for the forearms, but we're targeting many of the same muscles. It'll just be targeting somewhere different along that muscle and tendon segment. You could also do a bit of both, a little bit of a bend at the elbows and sit back at the same time. As long as you're feeling a stretch coming through the front of the forearm, that's what we want. Okay guys, that's it. That's our kettlebell flow for the week. Thanks so much for joining. Had a good time. This is always my favorite workout of the week because it's so dynamic. It's challenging mentally as well as physically, and I really like that. So hopefully we'll see you guys again next time.